Good evening from Kirksville, Missouri. This is Rantin Randy's Rant on YouTube for December 14th, 2019. We've got a couple of folks out there. Um, First off, I am speechless at this point at the support that I'm seeing on that fundraiser. Um, and it's getting to be, when you click on that, I at looking at other hello Bernadette, at looking at other people's fundraisers, which I can't participate in, there's something wrong with my autofill. Every time I try to put in a zip code here, it won't allow me to enter it. By me entering it, what it's doing is it enters with autofill on your fundraisers, and then I look up after that autofill fills 63501, and it's breaking it down into my card information, to where no matter how many times I do it, I still cannot give to other fundraisers. Um, I want to participate in other people's Wounded Warriors that Joe Sherwood has for his birthday. That's a great organization. I would like to contribute to that also, but I'll keep working on it. We're not here for that. We're here to hear about the bullshit going on around our nation, and I believe maybe I'm getting a little closer to what's going on. I know we're totally divided in this country, but the Republicans seem to have so much scandal surrounding them. Uh, for instance, Bevin is going to leave being governor, but he pardons and commutes sentences for criminals, pedophiles, and at least one was a political favor of $20,000. Why is it always them? They are, you have to watch them. They're in all kind of scandals, but they can't see what's going on. There's no evidence. 17 witnesses. There's no evidence. He didn't say though, even though everybody knows and can read, but they can't see that though. And they also are now saying that Biden's name was not mentioned in that transcript. What it is I noticed on CNN last night, the guy's first name is Matt, and he has a cleft in his chin. He's always, or he's the Republican strategist for the show. And he was on Don Lemon, and he said that the GOP is taking truth out of lies. And I believe he's right. And he even said, George Orwell's Animal Farm is happening right now in front of us. And how about POTUS? They cram about 50 Christian ministers, all they could get, in the Oval Office to pray for him. Come on. That's a play from Nazi Germany. They did the same kind of thing, convinced the Christians that the other was their enemy. In that case, it was the Jews. In Donnie's case, it's the Muslims, it's people of color, it's anything he wants to brand. If you don't like him, then you're another. That's what he's doing to the Democrats. Do nothing. Their president, talk to McConnell. He's sitting on all the damn bills. 275 that are bipartisan, but you won't do anything with them. Now you have already made up your mind which side you're going to be, on the side of the president. And then Leningrad Lindsay has come out that he won't be a fair juror. He's already made his mind up in judiciary. This just totally mystifies me, other than there is kind of an explanation to it all. They've got 3 stations that pump out lies, and we have more stations. But let's keep in mind, we're in our bubble, they're in their bubble, and the two are not going to meet on this. I just hope something peaceful can be worked out through all this. Hello, Joe. Hello, Maria. Let's see. Hello, Dennis. All right. And of course, Bernadette is with us too. No, you're right, Joe. They have their own facts, which aren't facts. What it's doing is perverting truth into lies. And if you do it often enough and long enough for that one audience, that becomes the truth. I saw one of the Be Less Stupid interviewing Trumpers, and you can have video, and they will deny, no, that's not what he said. And the reporter said, but I can show you the video. Well, he didn't say that. It all goes back to what he was talking about. He said, you cannot believe anything you read, you hear, or you see. That's not what's happening. We're seeing it come true. We are seeing it come true. And you know what it does to me? It pisses me off. I think we all wish we could do more than we're doing to them. Another strange thing is, I don't know about you, but I am not seeing a whole lot of Russian memes or even Republican memes about the Democratic Party. What are they going to do? Put it all on TV commercials? It's bad enough that played the violin for him. Do you watch those funny you must support your president call now? Remember the mistake they made with one of them? I don't know how many months ago it was, but it had 2 options. If you support him, number 1. Number 2 was if you don't. They never did it since. The reason being, the majority of the people are against their president. So they couldn't make that mistake again, because they got more option 2s than they got option 1s. Oh, shit. Holy shit. In the case of, it looks like Nazi Germany. It smells of Putin. Oh. And when you want to look at Nazi Germany, Hitler, he was a flag hugger. And the others are the problem. Let's see. And in the case of Donnie, it's Muslims, Mexican, people of color, and it goes on and on. It's anybody that doesn't agree with him are scum. And I noticed too, I have seen quite a few memes out there over the years that I've been on Facebook And I was studying Hitler, and Hitler used a lot of hand movement. And Donnie uses one with three fingers in a circle that is white nationalist. He's being bold. He's not saying that's what he's doing, but you can tell from what he speaks of, that's who he's appealing to. And the blacks behind him, he's paying them. He doesn't fool any of us. But if you got your head stuck in the Fox bubble, you don't know any better. And I get so tired of this. Well, Fox is fair and balanced. Since when? They are entertainment. And that's what all the rest of Fox is, entertainment, sports. You can't find anywhere, and I have looked for it, at the bottom of Fox site for Fox News. You can't find that it's entertainment, but we all know that's what they're piping out. That's what they're doing. They are performers just like Donnie is. Donnie is in his element when he's out saying all this outlandish bullshit at his rallies because he's an entertainer. He's a carnival barker. And that's all he is. He didn't even want to be president. This was to boost his damn celebrity apprentice. That's what it's all about. And then somebody probably woke him up and said, "You're president." And then he goes, "President-elect? What am I going to do with that?" So he continued down the road that he's always done. He has his executive time. He spent $155 million playing golf when he said and promised his supporters he would be too busy to do that. Give me a damn break. And now we have a traitor among in New Jersey, of all places. Evidently, the money got to him, and he could be fearful that he's a freshman, moderate, and he's afraid that he won't get back in office because Donnie would probably primary him. So that was a lot of guts. He's going to become a Republican. Ah, shit. And I wanted to get into this is even today was busy in the house. Tomorrow will be busy. I think program or something like that is part of the impeachment itself. Then they're busy on Monday. Then they're busy on Tuesday. The vote will be on Wednesday. And for that vote, I'm not sure, but it may be on Tuesday that there will be protests, peaceful protests throughout the nation. And I pray that it is peaceful protest. I'm hoping that the Trumpers stay out of it. They don't need to be there. We don't need the Klan to show up. And I'll go back to, I got this on Cuomo last night. Fox spews. McConnell has already said there is no way they will remove his president. He's a juror coordinating with the White House. Now, you can communicate with the White House counsel, but you don't come out and tell everybody before it even comes to a Senate trial the way it's going to end up. How is that constitutional? Oh, and this story. White House is going to restrict the number in future foreign uh, foreign country calls to 10 or 12 Trump loyalists. We'll see if that works too. This White House is leaked from day one. No wonder uh, a few months in. I mean, just look at the nasty shit this man did. He calls for a ban on all Muslims coming into the country. Didn't matter what their reasoning, that they might be employed by this government to help out with interpretation in those countries. Didn't matter. The court struck him down for quite a long time on anything he's done. Plus, now he's going to have 3 cases over taxes to be heard by SCOTUS, and they may be decided by next June. Interesting. Convention time. That's why it's important that we mar him with this articles of impeachment, because regardless, though, there is no way that a Supreme Court can decide in his favor when he's talking about he's above the law. He is anybody that's associated with him, like Don McGahn, are immune from testifying. He's defied subpoenas. They want to fight it on the other side. They want to fight it out in court. No wonder. He'd be back in office. All these matters cannot get settled before election time. That's why they want to get this thing rushed through there, where they can turn around and say, see, the don't do nothing Democrats didn't get nothing done. And another bad thing about future talks with foreign leaders, he's going to repeat what he is doing now. He'll find some reason to ask them to interfere in the election, and the guardrails are off. The guardrails are off making that move, because there's less chance. And keep this in mind. I wanted to bring this up before I get any further into this. Keep in mind that he will not be slowed up. He will not be deterred. If they end it the way they want to, it's like a slap on the wrist. Don't do that. Our hope is some of them will turn around during the trial. There are some, but see, that's the reason they want to rush it through. They rush the damn thing through, then there's less chance for any kind of vote. They'll just vote to acquit and get it over with. Oh, yeah. They've got such a good candidate that they don't have to worry about anything. They don't care what he does. They don't care in the man's past that Trump paid $2 million to 8 charities for misuse of foundation funds. And remember Pam Bondi, who received money from the foundation for her reelection, and she dropped the Trump University. Thank God that New York State pursued it. and got them shut down. But now she's on the president's legal team for impeachment. Boy, amazing how that works. Isn't that just, wow, that's something else. Let's see if I got anything else. And that page I did yesterday, so recycle it. Again, I wanted to thank you all in this fundraiser because it's becoming so many of you, and a good many of you are right out here. 4G tire biter. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard that America One Network is even worse than Fox. And then that other one, Newsmax. Newsmax, they had Chris Ruddy on last night, and he was saying, how can they, the House, do that to a good president? And then, of course, he goes on to spew about the economy. The economy does not work for anybody other than people invested in Wall Street. And I will also mention from Obama around 2012, the stock market is, for the most part, been headed up. It didn't change any when Donnie got in there. And if it keeps going up at this rate, you're going to end up with the same thing that happened when it did that before in 1929. There is going to be a crash somewhere along the line. We have seen how his nasty policies and his nasty mouth have made that stock market go up and down. But for the most part, it's been straight up. Unemployment, give me a damn break. With wages not going up since the 60s. I mean, if we were looking at a real economy and real wages, you'd be talking around $28, $29 an hour. Give me a break on that. And again, I'll close it out with, damn it, damn it. Oh, he takes the beating and keeps on tweeting. Oh. But what we have here now is a war on truth, a war on all integrity, on all of democracy. This is a serious matter, and somehow we have to make sure that we get him out. And the best way to do that is we must stay informed, stay on it, keep applying pressure, call McConnell's office and Lindsey Graham and your Republican senators and Congress people, because we got to keep up the pressure. It looks like now we're going to have people in the street, and it's about time that that got started. What we're going to have to do is what's been done in Bolivia and other places like Hong Kong. You've got to apply pressure. Get out there. Be a part of it where you can. I'm not suggesting that anybody endanger themselves, but everybody knows that I am for peace. And that's what I stand for. I will not tolerate any kind of violence, unprovoked violence against our protesters. Because I think that's where it's going to come from. That and Donnie thinks he's taken over the police force. I don't think that's true, just as I don't believe that he can take over the military either. But the danger in that we're seeing is from countries like Saudi Arabia, for example. They've done this kind of thing before. They'll push it even more. Oh, hello, buddy. Let's see. Hello, John. Hello, Carrie. I saw that slip up there. Yep, Bernadette, fake president. That's what we have. They want to say that we wanted him gone. I wanted him gone before he got there. Everybody knew that he was a con man. He's a criminal. His family are criminals. After all, they're going through ethics. They have to report to learn about ethics, that you don't steal from people. For Christ's sake. Oh, and I also wanted to, before I leave you, and plus, I want to look at the comments a little more, but that is my P.O. box. I'd appreciate your cards and letters through that P.O. box. I just went to check it today. I had no problem using the combination and unlocking it. So I can finally get into it. They evidently used some WD-40 on it, and it's working better. Oh, he gives me a workout working with him. Oh, and more he wants to blame lights, make him look orange. Mr. President, fake president, quit wearing your orange makeup. That's bullshit. And everybody knows it, except your supporters. And I know why he wants that to happen. You get the old filament bulbs and it costs more on your electricity. I know. I have throughout this place, I have LEDs, and it has saved me any time of year. I'm saving like $30 over where my bill was before. Windmills cause cancer. And they think this man is sane? Give me a break. I agree with that, Maria. They did put him in there. I mean, after all, you had KKK, that the David Duke. He wanted him. He was at Charlottesville. They were thrilled that they've got that president. Ah. CNN news or fixed news is a threat to national security. That's worth pondering, because even in our sphere of what we watch, they sometimes are not covering things properly. And that worries me too. That sometimes I wonder if but I look at it this way, Maria, and all of you. What we do, or I do, number one, is I read more news articles that I can get on here. Number two is we kind of have CBS and ABC and MSNBC to cross check CNN, and same with CNN cross-checking the others. Uh, we're looking for the truth. We're looking for reliable sources. Uh, New York Times, Washington Post, LA Times, uh, papers like that. Something that people need to do more of. Now, my little paper here, uh, Kirksville Daily Express, uh, is slanted, but you can see some AP articles here, but uh, they are slanted. Our TV station, KTVO, is run by Sinclair Broadcast, so I don't particularly care on my big TV that over the air 90% of the time I can't get their CBS or their ABC because I don't really care to hear all this crap they put in commentary by right wingers fighting against one liberal, and it's just slanted here toward Fox is what the if you don't like this, go to Fox. Oh, oh, yeah, I agree with that, Maria. Yeah, yeah, Fox News is a threat to national security. By doing what they're doing, is you have more of these uninformed people, and they are uninformed. If Fox is their only news source, they don't know what's going on in this country. They seriously don't, because you're not going to get them from them. Now, they have a few good reporters, but those work in the daytime. All they count on is your Sean Pannitys and your dog-faced Tucker and people like that. And that's what a majority of the people are seeing. So they're not going to get any real news out of them. There's no way. Let me look over here. And yeah, the toilet crisis, Joe. Oh, oh, that is ridiculous. Oh, and now he's going to, but we're not going to have clean water because you're flushing 10 to 15 times. Give me a fucking break. Oh, man, it's nuts. But we all know that. Um, he's deranged. He's the madman. He has decided that he is King Don and that we all must accept that. And if he can get past uh, impeachment and then end up being able to make fun of it, he will continue down his nasty ways until something happens. And I have a theory about that, but I more or less keep it to myself. Let's see what happens in June, is all I'll say about that. And that would be the 42nd month that he's in office. So let's wait and see how that comes out. Love that, Dave. Trump is like a dumbbell magnet. Yeah, it reminds me of one of those that hangs from the crane. Oh, he attracts the worst. Oh, let's see. That is my fear, Dave, that he will do like a Morales in Bolivia. He'll cook the books. Uh, Putin does it. It's not all that hard. And then if he loses, what he's going to say is it was all rigged. Damn. Uh, but it wasn't rigged when he got in. All right. I enjoy getting out here with you folks. I mean, I have never experienced this kind of family. And honestly, he brought us all together thanks to John being sick from the moment he got in there. And he was probably sick like I was before he even got there. I tried to convince people that this man was a con man. Everywhere I went, I told them that. And they'd look at me like, what are you talking about? It's just that he was a reality TV star. That's all it is. And that's why, you know, he's, tune in tomorrow for the next bullshit that comes down because that's what he is, a carnival barker. He got a following of people that think he's tough because he went, you're fired. Oh, yeah, he should recluse himself and should Bill Barr, but they're not going to do it. They're going to stay there and defend him. Leningrad Lindsay has gotten enough money out of Russia that he's already saying he won't be a fair juror in this. But there's hope for it tomorrow. Everything could fall apart on them. Enough of them. I wonder how much corruption they have to see before they start turning around. Because I have a feeling there are some in the Republican Senate that aren't getting all the dirty money. And what we got to hope is they don't have scandals against their names, too. That, to me, is amazing. How many of them have scandals? They're against gays, and it turns out they were one. They're against pedophiles, but it turns out they were one. It's never ending with them. They are the corruptest bunch of a party that I've ever seen in my lifetime. Oh, well, I could do this all night, people, and you know it. All right, let's see. Oh, look like Barnett. You remember option two. I called it, and I was giving them a mouthful. And then I noticed that next day, I guess it tied up all their lines because they dropped it the next day and redid the commercial having one option. All right. That's what we all need is a good laugh tonight. I'm thinking about I will probably tune in to Saturday Night Live and see what they're going to be covering tonight. It's always good to get a break. Humor is the best medicine, as far as too, music is too. And that's why I encourage everybody to uh, our music site, uh, Music True Believers, and I have other Blue Dot that have music sites. I've been inviting a lot of you to come join in on those sites too and support other Blue Dots. And music can bring people together. Music we all can associate with. And even though you have a president who will not lead the Rolling Stones material away with you don't always get what you want, it doesn't matter to him. Like with this, what is that cartoon character in animation now, Thanos? He won't leave that alone. And unfortunately, nobody can do anything about it because it can be played through the Fair Use Act. He's taking advantage of the American people. He's trying to kill our democracy, and Republicans are fine with that. They would rather have a dictator. Well, brothers and sisters, I ain't going for it. You ain't going for it. And that's why it's important we share this shit, because we have to keep fighting the good fight. And that's one thing I can promise you, I will keep doing it. Fox Bubble, Foxhole. I like that, Bernadette. Yeah, and that's for good reason. A lot of countries will not allow Fox News to even be there because they know it's bullshit. It's all slanted to one side, conspiracy theories. And then see, the other day they're projecting that back on the Democrats that we're following a conspiracy theory. Suddenly, the Russian interference is a conspiracy theory because Putin is delighted that now Ukraine is being blamed for it. Damn. Damn. All right. I hope I beat Donnie enough. He takes the beating and keeps on tweeting. So maybe we're doing some good with him. But that's because he's hard-headed, a spoiled brat, a man-child, a madman. All right, I will let you go for this evening. I'm looking forward to my day off. I thank you all that are showing me support. I'm overwhelmed. At times I'm speechless. At other times I'm in shock. But this family is something that are so together, so generous, so helpful to each other, and so fighting as guardians of liberty for the Blue Dot family. And with that, I will leave you. Let me scroll all the way up. Yes, indeed, it is the universal language. And sometimes when it's hard to laugh, Dave, I can always depend on relaxing with music and finding music that has its own way of being protest. And I know you have all noticed that in a lot of things that I post, that I'm getting a message across, but I'm not having to say it. I'm just playing the music, particularly like just recently before I go, I posted, "So this is Christmas," and got a complaint from a classmate. Why? Can't we have a moratorium against music and play just Christmas music? And I said, huh? That is Christmas music. He didn't like that it came out in 1971 when Richard Nixon was president. That's what his complaint was. Don't want to be reminded. Well, thank you, Joe. Uh, have a good night. And oh, thank you, Velda. Thank you, Maria. All right. I will let you go instead of keep running my mouth, and I'll have you here an hour or two. All right. Love you all. And we will keep this up. We'll fight the good fight, and we will be victorious, if nothing else, in 2020. Share this shit. I love you, America. Let's get it out there and get the word out and back all of our voices and make them one. All right. Have a good evening, and I'll see you on Facebook on Monday. Bye bye.